What's going on, everybody? Blizzard has just recently nonchalantly dropped a serious post about PvP that no one's really talking about, and that is the complete normalization of PvP gear in arenas and battlegrounds. This is huge news for anybody that likes to play arenas just as a casual player or have multiple classes. Dragonflight is looking to be the most alt-friendly expansion for PvP ever. They are entirely normalizing all PvP gear, meaning that good PvP gear and bad PvP gear are exactly the same inside of instanced arenas and battlegrounds. However, they will still matter in world PvP. It will still matter if you take your PvP gear into PvE, for example. But inside of actual instanced arenas, you're all the same, basically. Assuming you have PvP gear in that slot, it's all the same. This is huge because in the past, they've done weird like normalization and weird scaling and all this other stuff. But according to what I have read, they are to the T making everybody equalized, assuming you have PvP gear. And I'm a huge fan of this for instanced arenas. I'm not exactly sure what I think about it existing in random battlegrounds. Part of me almost wants gear to be a thing in random battlegrounds, maybe not rated battlegrounds, but I do understand that World of Warcraft is an MMO. People want to play with their shiny gear and have progression. I understand that as a thing, but I think that it existing in world PvP is a fair compromise. World PvP is by nature unfair, crazy, ridiculous. So giving players a playground to play with their fancy PvE gear and PvP gear, I think is a good thing. However, when it comes to ranked arenas, I don't know anybody that is against this change. I think for the most part, all of the arena fiends are very much okay with everybody's gear being entirely equal. If anything, it'll almost make the game easier to balance because you won't have problematic, PvE trinkets or PvE things that are skewing the balance in a weird way. For example, back in Wrath of Lich King Season 8, when Polymorph was getting down to like 1 second cast, Armor Pin, Shadow Mourn, there were a lot of PvE things that have always skewed the game in really crazy ways. So when everybody has effectively the same stat package, that's going to be nice. Also, you just can play arenas more casually. You can have an alt. This is going to be a big deal for solo queue because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people rolling alt healers that have never really healed before. That's me. I'm going to be leveling up a healer of some kind, and it's going to be nice not having to do chores. Holy crap. That's the big thing, is that I just recently came back to Shadowlands, and I didn't want to play it super seriously, but, I want to mess around with some BGs, maybe do something, right? Well, it turns out I have to do all this conduit, legendary, covenant bullshit, and it's like, I'm not even going to bother. So, I just have not really been actually playing the game or enjoying it outside of preparing for the expansion. Because I can't, because of all this bullshit. So, seems like in Dragonflight, you're just going to hit max level, do some BGs, get some PvP gear. Apparently, you can buy crafted PvP gear, so you might not even have to do the honor farm if you don't want to, if you're just looking to do instance PvP, and just get right to work. That's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited for that. I think in the context of solo queue and I think this is going to be very good just to have, let people play multiple classes. Another great thing about the complete normalization of PvP gear in ranked PvP is that Blizzard can actually make extremely powerful PvP rewards that are good outside of PvP. Now, you might be saying, why would they do that? Well, let's say Blizzard wants to lure over some PvE players to do PvP. Well, they can make a really good trinket that might not necessarily actually be that good in actual arenas, but maybe for PvE it has an applicable use for a certain mechanic or whatever it may be to have that crossover. That crossover has always existed for PvP players to do PvE to get the OP thing or whatever it was. That's always existed. But it hasn't always existed in the other way. Some seasons there have been some PvEers that do PvP, but it hasn't always been a consistent thing. But now that everybody is normalized, they can make some juicy rewards that PvEers want to get so they participate and we have some cross-pollination. That is always a good thing. The only concern I have with this system is that people like progression. Even when it comes to arena gear, people like their character being stronger and getting stronger. It's just something that people have always liked in MMOs. So I hope they continue to create progression systems that aren't necessarily player power. I think the honor level system is fantastic, where you just get cooler and cooler cosmetics and like an unlock ladder. I would love to see them just expand PvP progression to include many other things that aren't gear. I think that would be far more interesting anyway, but they do need to do something and create more progression systems around PvP, because while it is cool that everybody is entirely equal in ranked arenas, there's going to be a lot of people that go, well, I leveled up and got all my honor gear. Now what? You know, there's really nothing else. Like, it's just arenas all day. Now that sounds great to a lot of you. I know, it sounds great to me. But I would love to see additional progression systems and things to work towards, and you know, carrots to reach for. But yeah, dude, overall, Dragonflight, a lot of W changes coming this expansion, 100%. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and join the Discord. It's free.